Hello, it's the Pageant Nerd here with another fresh and nerdy look at beauty pageants. Today we're counting down the biggest surprise victories in Miss Universe history. Sash factor. It's a term in the pageant world that implies certain countries' history and reputation, and thus the name on the sash, provide an added advantage. Some would say an unfair advantage that leads to placements and even crowns that would not have occurred had the delegate been wearing a so-called weaker sash. At the other end of the pageant spectrum are those winners who've conquered the crown against the odds. With little or no history of placements, or in one case having never competed in the pageant before, we pay tribute to the lucky top 8 unexpected wins at Miss Universe. In this video, we count down numbers 8 through 5. Let's go! While Cecilia Bolocco went on to become an Emmy Award-winning journalist, her big break at Miss Universe was anything but assured. Prior to the 1987 pageant in Singapore, Bolocco competed in the Miss South America contest and failed to place at all out of 9 delegates. This, despite wearing the same dress that would eventually bring her the most prestigious beauty title of all.
Chile!
At Miss Universe, her native Chile had placed 9 times prior to 1987, but never gone beyond the semi-finals. Bolocco was about to change all that.
Look at this, what?
Why did you ask me in English?
Why are you speaking English now? Why is she here at all?
Oh, do again the question, but in Spanish.
A hugely memorable interview with Bob Barker set her on an untouchable trajectory, winning all 3 semi-final rounds by a considerable margin. Among the top 5 was eventual Miss International 1987 Lowry Simpson of Puerto Rico, but it was Bolocco who would become the 3rd straight Latina to win the Miss Universe crown.
The first runner-up is Miss Italy. Miss Chile is Miss Universe.
Meanwhile, Miss South America 1987 and pre-pageant favourite Patricia Lopez Ruiz of Colombia was a shock exclusion from the top 10. Seemingly, it was Bolocco who had the last laugh.
You have won all.
Please enjoy your first moment as Miss Universe 2011!
Like all victories in my top 8, Layla Lopes was the first Miss Universe for her country. And while Angola had placed 3 times in the early 2000s, having debuted in 1998, they'd never even reached the top 5, although Miss Angola 2007, Michaela Reis, placed first runner-up at Miss World that year after a top 10 finish at Miss Universe. At the 60th anniversary Miss Universe in Sao Paulo, Brazil, Lopes rode an incredible wave of support from the fellow Portuguese-speaking crowd. Lopes was arguably more popular than the host nation's Priscila Machado, who was a divisive winner of the Miss Brazil title, but nonetheless started a run of 9 consecutive placements at Miss Universe, which stands to this day. Machado obliterated expectations to finish second runner-up, but Lopes's charm and doll-like beauty proved irresistible as she claimed the title over Miss Ukraine.
Miss Universe 2011 is Angola, Layla Lopes.
Lopes is now married to a former NFL player and gave birth to a son in 2018.
The second runner-up is Miss New Zealand.
New Zealand has placed only 5 times in 55 attempts at Miss Universe up to 2019, but they've nonetheless managed to win the crown once. In 1983, 19-year-old Lorraine travelled to St. Louis, Missouri and qualified for the semi-finals in 6th place. The favourite was the host nation's Julie Hayek, Miss USA, who won the semi-final swimsuit and evening gown competitions.
And the best thing of my
my visit has been the people of St. Louis. They have been so friendly and made everyone feel welcome. Thank you.
Nicely put. Thank you.
But Downs put on an assured performance in the interview, and although she reached the top 5 in 3rd place, she surged to cause an upset win.
The first runner-up is Miss USA. Miss New Zealand is Miss Universe.
As she'd recall more than 3 decades later, it certainly was an overwhelming and unexpected victory.
Oh my gosh, that's me. My life changed overnight. And I woke up and put on a robe and I had to sit in bed, and I'm not kidding, probably 60 media came into that bedroom.
Lorraine Downs has 2 children with first husband, former New Zealand rugby player Murray Maxted, and was married to Kiwi cricket captain Martin Crowe for 7 years, before his tragic death from lymphoma in 2016.
Places, of course. Second finalist is Miss Namibia.
That Michelle McLean won Miss Universe in 1992 was not the shock. After all, she'd been top 5 at Miss World the year before.
Namibia. Well, let it fall from the smile of Africa. I'm Michelle McLean representing Namibia.
The fact that the southwest African nation of Namibia sent such a well-prepared delegate was the pleasant surprise. Namibia debuted at Miss Universe in 1981, but had never so much as placed.
There's 1.4 million people in a country that Switzerland could fit into 20 times, so it's quite a large space.
An international model since age 13, McLean finished 2nd in the 1992 Miss Universe preliminaries, and when heavy favourite Carolina Ishak of Venezuela failed to make the top 3, it was McLean's phenomenal speaking skills that sealed the victory. McLean was just the 2nd African woman to win the title, and it was her victory that brought the pageant to Namibia in 1995. A children's trust in her name continues to provide educational and financial support for hundreds of Namibian children, and she's also a successful businesswoman, life coach, and public speaker. That completes part 1 of the countdown. In the next video, we look at my top 4 biggest surprise victories in Miss Universe history. Who do you think will be in there? Leave your comments below, and please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel. I'll be back with part 2 soon, but in the meantime, it's bye for now from the Pageant Nerd.